What's going on, guys? It's Anthony Bruno, and could one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL be on the move? I'm talking about Seattle Seahawks superstar Russell Wilson. Earlier this month, Russ made it public that he wanted more of a say in Seahawks personnel decisions, and even voiced his frustration about getting hit too much, basically saying that he's been pissed off with the play of the offensive line. And things got spicier when NFL reporter Michael Silver recently said that a third of the teams in the league have inquired about Russell Wilson and that it would probably take 3 first-round draft picks to make a deal happen. So could one of the best quarterbacks in the sport, who's in the middle of a 4-year, $140 million contract, coming off a 12-win season, actually get traded? Well, if it does happen, here are 10 NFL teams who should trade for Russell Wilson. Let's go. Before we start, I just want to let you guys know about our awesome giveaway at the end of the month, where we will be giving away $500 cash to 3 lucky subscribers. Yes, $500 cash to 3 of you. This is our way of giving back to you, the fans of TPS, who make all of this possible. To enter the contest, all you need to do is subscribe and have your notifications on, and you've got to be commenting on our videos regularly throughout the month. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you can watch our videos as soon as they come out, and make sure you smash that like button as well. If you're already subscribed to the channel and have notifications on, then all you need to do is like and comment, and you'll be automatically entered into the random draw. So good luck to everybody. Let's start things off with a bang, shall we? Coming in at number 10 is the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback, but the Cowboys have yet to commit to Dak long term, and if they give Dak the franchise tag again this season, his future with the Cowboys is going to continue to be in question. The Cowboys' offensive line was banged up big time this past season, so once fully healthy, and thinking about the weapons Dallas has at receiver like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup, Russell Wilson would absolutely tear it up in this offense. The Cowboys have to fix their defense, and the finances involved in a trade around Dak and Russell Wilson are complicated, but a superstar like Russ joining the Cowboys would be straight fireworks. Next up at number 9 is the New York Jets. The Jets have now gone 10 straight years without making the playoffs and haven't won the Super Bowl since 1968. And you're probably thinking, why the hell would Russell Wilson want to play here? But the situation isn't as terrible as it seems. First of all, if it's actually going to take 3 first-round picks to acquire Russell Wilson, the Jets definitely have the draft capital to make it happen, and they can obviously include Sam Darnold in a potential trade like this as well. The Jets also have a ton of cap space to get creative and make moves to improve on both sides of the ball. They need to get better on the offensive line, and at most positions for that matter, but with 6'7", 360-pound tackle Mekhi Becton leading the way up front, the future looks bright on the O-line. And with new head coach Robert Saleh coming in as a defensive specialist, perhaps he can learn from where the Seahawks have gone wrong and let Russell Wilson take control of the offense and do what he does best. Yes, let Russ cook. Coming in at number 8 is the New England Patriots. The Patriots came crashing back down to earth last season after losing Tom Brady. After 11 straight division titles, the Pats finished 7-9 in 2020, their first sub-500 season since the year 2000. New England's offense was a mess last year, and so was Cam Newton, especially in the passing game, as he threw only 8 touchdowns in 15 games to go along with 10 interceptions and 6 fumbles. And we all know Jarrett Stidham isn't the answer either. But one positive from the Patriots this past season was the play of the offensive line, which finished 4th in Pro Football Focus's end-of-season rankings. The Patriots would need to do some major work to bring in much better skill position players to optimize the talents of a guy like Russell Wilson, but with their offensive line and Bill Belichick taking care of the defensive side of the ball, the Patriots could see a very quick turnaround if they're able to pull off a trade for Russ. Next up at number 7 is the Miami Dolphins. The Fins are coming off just their second 10-win season in the last 12 years. Head coach Brian Flores has done a great job turning this team around over the last 2 seasons. And even though Miami drafted Tua Tagovailoa 5th overall in 2020, he didn't look great in his rookie season, and it remains to be seen if he's actually capable of being a franchise quarterback. In Tua's defense, he came off a major injury and with the pandemic, wasn't able to have a normal offseason to prepare for the NFL. The Dolphins led the league in takeaways last season and have a very solid defense, and if they can bring in a quarterback like Russell Wilson, this team would be incredibly dangerous. Miami has the draft capital to pull off a trade for Russ with 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in the upcoming draft, and they can include Tua in the deal as well. So after focusing on rebuilding and trading away several players for draft picks over the last couple seasons, it might be time for the Dolphins to flip the script and use those picks to land a superstar like Russell Wilson. Number 6 on our list is the New Orleans Saints. The big question with the Saints is Drew Brees. At 42 years old, the future first ballot Hall of Famer has yet to decide if he's going to retire or come back for another season. If he does retire like most of us expect him to, then the Saints obviously need a new franchise quarterback. Jameis Winston is a free agent, and as much as Sean Payton loves Taysom Hill, he's just not the answer. Payton is one of the best offensive minds in the game and would work wonders with Russell Wilson, who's been tied to a defensive-minded coach in Pete Carroll his entire career. But the big problem the Saints have right now is their salary cap issues, making a trade for Wilson very difficult. But can you imagine Wilson and Sean Payton running the offense with playmakers like Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas and a very solid offensive line to protect Russ? Man, oh man, that would be fun to watch. Starting off the top 5 is the Chicago Bears. Moving up in the draft to take Mitchell Trubisky 2nd overall in 2017 has not worked out to say the least. But despite the roller coaster play of Trubisky, the Bears have a very respectable 28-20 record over the last 3 seasons under head coach Matt Nagy, with 1 division title and 2 playoff appearances. Star wide receiver Allen Robinson is a free agent, but I'm sure he would love to play with the Bears long term if they found a way to acquire Russell Wilson, who would instantly become the best quarterback Robinson has ever had. Bears GM Ryan Pace has made some very questionable decisions during his time in Chicago, but there is no denying that he's been super aggressive. We've seen him move up in the draft to take Trubisky and trade 2 first-round picks for Khalil Mack. So with Pace entering the final year of his contract with the Bears, he might just try to hit one last home run and trade for Russell Wilson. Moving along to number 4 is the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have been searching for an answer at quarterback ever since Peyton Manning retired. They have now missed the playoffs 5 straight seasons after winning the Super Bowl in 2015. Over the last 5 years, Denver has gone through Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, and Joe Flacco. So it has clearly been a huge struggle for this team to find a franchise quarterback. And right now, Drew Lock doesn't appear to be the answer either. He led the NFL with 15 interceptions last season and fumbled the ball 8 times in 13 games. After drafting Courtland Sutton, Noah Fant, and Jerry Jeudy over the past 3 seasons, the Broncos desperately need a quarterback who can get these guys the football. And it goes without saying, Russell Wilson would be a fantastic option. And here's an interesting fact. If he lands with the Broncos, it would be a return to Colorado for Wilson, who was drafted by the Rockies in the 4th round of the 2010 MLB Draft. Next up at number 3 is the Washington Football Team, another team that has desperately been trying to find a franchise quarterback. They thought they had one in Robert Griffin III, but injuries derailed his career in Washington, and then they drafted Dwayne Haskins in the 1st round in 2019, but his tenure in Washington was a colossal disaster. The football team won the terrible NFC East this past season with a 7-9 record and actually put up a solid fight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs, despite starting undrafted quarterback Taylor Heineke. So just imagine what this team would look like with Russell Wilson. Washington has a great front seven led by Chase Young. Their offensive line finished number 6 in Pro Football Focus's end-of-season rankings, and they have one of the best young receivers in the league in Terry McLaurin. If Washington trades for Russell Wilson, they will be a nightmare to deal with in the NFC East. Number 2 on our list is the San Francisco 49ers. I know it's a team in the Seahawks division and you're all going to yell at me and say this would never happen, but this is an amazing landing spot for Russell Wilson. After getting to the Super Bowl in 2019, the 49ers dealt with a ton of injuries in 2020 on their way to a 6-10 last place finish in the NFC West. You can do worse than Jimmy Garoppolo as your starting QB, but can you imagine this team with Russell Wilson? First of all, pairing Russ with a head coach and offensive genius like Kyle Shanahan is a match made in heaven. They have really good young receivers in Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, and one of the best tight ends in the league in George Kittle. On top of that, the 49ers have a very solid offensive line that Pro Football Focus ranked as the 9th best unit in the NFL in 2020. And then when you also consider how good the 49ers defense is, it makes you wonder how great this team would be if Russell Wilson was the quarterback. And coming in at number 1 is the Las Vegas Raiders, who are currently the betting favorite to land Russell Wilson. The Raiders have made the playoffs just once in the last 18 seasons. Head coach John Gruden is entering the 4th year of a monster 10-year, $100 million contract, and you can bet he would love himself a superstar quarterback like Russell Wilson.
Tell me about what kind of leader I'm getting here in this Russell Wilson guy.
I think the way I view leadership and playing quarterback position is you got to be the guy that's consistent every single day.
The Raiders have had 5 first-round picks over the last 2 seasons as they continue to try to rebuild this football team, and Russ would be the cherry on top. Derek Carr is coming off a good season and has had a solid career, but at this point, I think we can all agree he's been an average to slightly above average quarterback and not a guy you'd be confident in leading your team to the Super Bowl. And with Patrick Mahomes in the same division, if the Raiders want to seriously compete, it would be huge to have a QB like Russell Wilson. And as unrealistic as it might be for some teams to actually acquire Russell Wilson, or as crazy as it seems that he could even be traded in the first place, if you have a chance to acquire a superstar, future Hall of Fame quarterback and instantly make your team a contender, sometimes you just gotta be bold and swing for the fences. That does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments what you think about our list and which NFL team you think would be the best landing spot for Russell Wilson if he actually gets shipped out of Seattle. And as always, we would really appreciate it if you hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you know exactly when we're dropping some new content. That does it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.